Hello guys, welcome to the new episode of Shiv Sagar Academy. So today we'll be discussing about current affairs topic, that is agriculture credit. We will have a look on to. So agriculture credit is recently seen in economic survey of 2020. So we must have deep knowledge regarding agriculture credit. So let's see the subdivisions of it. So let's move on to the topic. So starting with agriculture credit, so its mechanisms, you can see the mechanisms like priority sector lending in interest subvention scheme ISS and Kisan credit card KCC scheme, and also there are some other groups like self-help group bank linkage program and also JLG, which is joint liability groups scheme. So before going to what is agriculture credit, let's have a look on to the characteristics of agriculture credit. That is, what is the sources of credit? The sources of credit are mostly there are institutional sources, which is accounted for 72% of agriculture credit, whereas non-institutional sources such as money lenders and relatives constituted as 28%. So agriculture credit, institutional sources goes with 72%. That is this, and other money lending non-institutional sources goes like 28%. So that is the sources of credit which we have. So that is one of the characteristics of agriculture credit. So going with institutional credits, let's see what are the institutional and what is the percentage of credit they are having. So first we will start with the scheduled commercial banks, which is having a 79%, and cooperatives, which is 15%, and RRB, which is regional rural banks, is 5%, and MFI is 1%. So connecting to other things, let's see that we are having a loan waivers worth rupees 2.4 lakh crore. That is almost 1.4% of GDP. So that was since 2014. 2014 to 15. So that is a huge amount, which is 1.4% of GDP. So, and also the reason for credit is of increased share of short-term loans. That is, share of short-term loans in agriculture credit increased from 51% in 2000 to 75% in 2018. So agriculture finance in India, a brief history. Let's check out the history. So phase 1 starts with 1951 to 69, and that is when it started. The thrust on developing primary sector since first financial year in 1951, that goes with National Credit Council in 1968, which was emphasized that commercial bank must increase financing to small scale industries and agriculture. That was the idea which was started in 1968, and as a first step, keystone, they started this National Credit Council. And coming to the next point, nationalization of banks happened in 1969, and it put thrust on opening of rural semi-urban bank branches. So for UPSC mains, you can use this history if a question is been asked related to agriculture credit. So these points could be added easily. And phase 2 started in 1970 to 1990. So the decade of 1970s marked the entry of commercial banks into agriculture credit with the lead bank scheme and also regulatory prescription of priority sector lending. And the Rural RRB Act 1976, it came into 1970. The RRB Act came into active in 1976, which enacted to specify the providing banking and also the credit facility for agriculture and other rural sectors. And also the phase 2 consists of another thing, that is the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, that is NABARD. we hear right now. So established in 1982 to promote agriculture and rural development. So particularly by financing SHGs and MFIs. So RBI introduced in 1989 a service area approach, that is also in phase 2, SAA, and annual credit plan ACP system to increase the outreach to rural areas. So that was the plan which started from in phase 2. So I'll repeat the portion of phase 2 once again. That is the phase 2 is in 1970 to 1990. It started with agriculture credit, entry of agriculture credit of commercial banks and PSL, and also the second thing was Regional Rural Act, Bank Act 1976, which provided banking and credit facility to for agriculture and other rural sectors, and also NABARD established in 1982 to promote agriculture and rural development, particularly by financing the SHGs, MFIs. And also the fourth point is RBI introduced in 1989 service approach, an annual credit ACP system to increase the outreach of rural areas. So that was a plan which had in phase 2. And then comes phase 3, 1991 to then comes a phase 3, that is 1991 to the present year, that is the implementation of Narasimham committee report on of 1991. So that is one of the important point, Narasimham committee report. So the first major nationwide farm loan waiver in 1990. It happened in 1990, and also establishment of Rural Infrastructure Development Fund RIDF with NABARD, mainly meant for funding rural infrastructure project. So and also NABARD started a pilot project SHG bank linkage program in 1992. So that was a phase 3 which started from 1991 and to the present year. So if it has been asked in UPSC mains, you can easily answer the history of agriculture credit. You could easily add this point so that you can score well. Okay, so I'll take the topic once more so that you can understand it very well. So the first, starting with this main points, the mechanisms of agriculture credit in India starts with priority sector lending PSL and interest subvention scheme ISS, and also Kisan Credit Scheme KCC scheme, and also self-help groups or bank linkage program SHG BLP, and also joint liability groups JLG scheme. So that are the main mechanisms of agriculture credit. And coming to the characteristics, that is first one is sources of credit. So where do they get the sources, and where is the maximum amount of source we have? So the first source of credit is from institutional sources. That is 72% of agriculture credit comes from this institutional sources, and also non-institutional sources is relatively of 28%. That is such as money lenders and all. And next comes, what are the institutional credits which we have? So that first comes as scheduled commercial banks 79%, then comes cooperatives 15%, and also RRBs 5% and MFI 1%. So these are the institutional credits which we have. And coming to loan waivers worth 2.4 lakh crore, that is 1.4% of GDP, were given since 2014 to 2015. So that is the strategy we have. And then comes increased share of short-term loans. That is share of short-term loans in agriculture credit increased from 51% in 2002, 75% in 2018. And so coming to the other points, we can see that agriculture finance in India, that is phase 1, we can divide it into phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. So it consists of different reforms. So that is all about agriculture credit. Hope you like this video. So if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments, please comment in the comment box below. So have a nice day. Thank you.